Oh, definitely. In terms of matchups against these two clans, as I said before, they are both very experienced. They've been practicing for a long time, and from previous fights we've seen, or you've seen rather, they've been going like 1-1 against each other constantly. You've just logged out of your account by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's
last second. We have 1 minute till the game gets underway. I honestly do think, though, it's going to be the case of just Rot storming and showing their true power. I don't know, man. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, so we see that carpal tunnel. I believe that was Milan, right? If I'm correct.
Yeah, he was in the 1v1 tournament.
1v1 tournament, yeah. So he's a very experienced warrior, one of our stalwarts. Very experienced.
Rot had quite a few players actually in the 1v1. Unfortunately, not able to make much of it. A lot of them going around in the first/second round. This is their final chance here to really show the true power of Rot and kind of get their name out there a bit more. Not that it's not out there already. They're known by many, hated by many, and loved by many. I'm sure Twitch chat can agree with me right there. But yeah,
30 seconds.
Here we go. Let's jump right into the game, and we're looking at Rot right now, having a little bit of a large movement all in synergy together, whereas Sanity in the corner, again, playing the defensive style. Very similar tactics being used, actually. Everyone's sitting in the DD and then spreading out as the fight comes close to starting.
Yeah, so everyone's starting off in their tank gear. They've got their Ellie camp, they've got their Toxic Staff camp, you know, and it looks like their tank legs as well. This is just so you're not going to be, if you're the first pile, you're not going to get banged straight away.
I actually see fire capes as well, so clearly these guys do have spec weapons such as AGSs. That was the option they've used for, as opposed to Rot, who are going for those spear tactic and right into the middle right now. It looks like just trying to wrap around, find the good piles. But right now, I mean, not much happening. First pile on Hexis Dat from Sanity. He's going to take quite a lot of damage. At the first early kill, the spear's coming in 2. If Rot can take this early lead, that would be brilliant for them. But looks like a few B piles actually as well. A 3-person B pile in Rot. What a mistake to make. If Sanity manages to capitalize on this, they can take a lot of damage. But still, Hexis trying to tank it as best he can. He's going to fall any second now. That'll be the first kill for Rot, the first death for Sanity. No, he's tanked it with his Elijah Spirit Shield, and he's walked underneath.
There. He's managed to get underneath their TS. He's dropped
Look at that barrage pile to the west. You see that?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Which one? I think we're seeing 2 different piles over here.
Oh, there's plenty of piles
over
going
there.
on.
Strut is hurt and Heritage. Heritage managed to break free. Looks like there wasn't a free man.
2 members actually just fallen from each team, actually. So it's now 19 versus 19.
Oh, nice. Very quick, exciting finish. Start, rather.
Northeast corner right now, we see that fantastic approach of Rot, spearing one guy into each other. The guy can't go anywhere, and he fell very quickly.
Just as you say that, we see that G-Jash Tukwin has been dropped there with some fantastic spearing there. Banged him out with a 40 and a 20 stacking.
We also see in this corner over here, if these guys get caught in this barrage pile, so many of the Sanity members clumping together right now. If Rot does capitalize on that again with the multi-AoE spells, they could do a lot of damage very quickly.
Yes, obviously, I think it's too tight to call at the moment. I wasn't really expecting this to be so evenly matched.
18 versus 18 right now.
Lots of B piles again. We see another 2-man B pile with Korean Girl and Zhao Lang Yu.
Seeing those AGS specs coming in from Monk right now. We have TS. trying to tank for Rot. Doing a fantastic job of doing so, actually. Look at how many people are on him right now, but still staying alive, buying his team members a bit of time, and to last
here we go. We see a spear coming in.
There we go.
Can Sully return the spear? No, they managed to get away. They're running north.
No!
Wow.
Look at that combo.
Great hit. Very good job there from Sanity.
Again, that was the tactic that Rot used last time, you know, spearing someone into each other. And now they're using it against them, so really
you've got Maru has just dropped as well, so down to 17 apiece.
Gosh. Really quick here. Aegis specs coming in 2 from the spear. Another Rot member touching the die. Look at this barrage pile. 2 people.
2 man.
Still being speared.
On a pile.
Fantastic. Salty Salmon's going to have to try and eat up as fast as he can here. Got out of the barrage pile. Will he want to survive though? Bought his teammates a little bit more time again. 17 versus 17 still.
What it looked like there, so they were focusing on the 2 men in the B pile. It looked as though as they ran away, half of Sanity were focused on one, half of Sanity were focused on the other, which means they couldn't quite follow pile to fruition.
Looking to the north now, Clutch actually was getting speared in between that Rot little ping-pong game. Slowly getting down to barely any supplies left by the looks of things. He needs to tank as best he can now, being speared underneath again, and he's out of the game. That is 17-16 towards Sanity, yeah.
16-16 as we call that. This is a really good war, really exciting war. And if you look at invents management as well, very similar. Lots of spears still flying. People are managing their specs fantastically.
Yeah, Rot started right now. 4 Rot trying to tank as best he can, being speared across. Saw a little spear coming from yes, that is trying to help his teammate out there. Really close, really clutch to save there. Made Rot be able to survive just a little bit longer. Looking to the south right now, we have Tappy trying to tank for Sanity, using the obelisk to his advantage. Actually, using this obelisk, obviously you can't hit through it, so you have to try and freeze your opponents to the other side and tank as best you can. But who is this falling? That was Rot Salad.
Yep.
Trying falling quite quickly there, actually, making it 15-16, Sanity's favour.
Tappy being speared into a 2-man there with Josh Ann just underneath him. Tappy with down to 2 food left, but only 20 HP. He's managed to survive there. I think he threw a P-neck on, and it's down to 40 HP. It looks like he's running away. Josh Ann is out of the B pile as well, so if he can stay alive for as long as possible here.
That's 15-15 right now. That's the kill that Rot was looking for. And I can't believe how close this fight actually is right now. We were expecting like a complete domination from one side from Rot, but no, Sanity are showing that they deserve to be here and have a chance to win the $10,000 as well.
So we've got Turbos there just in the center of that tanking now. We've got an AGS come flying in. I'm surprised I don't have a melee on him, just camping him, trying to get the prey up, switch to a melee so then they can start getting in the range. And just as I say that, Liz spawns in with the AGS, yep. The thing is, Rot are quite isolated down to the southeast for a while. They managed to get the smites up. As we're following that, Turbo's had his prayer dropped, hasn't got the prayer back up. If they can hit him, 24 and a 12 both stack. Couldn't get his prayer up in time. He's been dropped.
That was super important. Obviously, we have a barrage pile as well coming in here. Two-man barrage pile for Rot. Aloe and it's Britsray and Lisper getting speared together here now. If they can capitalize on this, they've got a 14-13 lead.
Just to the northeast of that is a free-man now. Josh Ann at the centre of that. Josh Ann, Black Herb and Charor. Everyone focusing their attention on Josh Ann, who was obviously caught in that two-man earlier, alongside Tilly or Tully, whatever his name was.
He can't tank this, surely.
Josh
no,
Ann
he's managed to do it.
He's been smited out. He has no prayer. Can he get the prayer back up? No, he's been hit for a 24 and he's been dropped. And Sanity did have Sanity had a 3-op lead at one point, and now it's been dropped out to equaliser. Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show Rot's power of slowly taking people's supplies down so they can finish them off later on. At the start of these fights, we saw previously Rot was just only up 1 or 2 ops, and then it changes, and suddenly they win 5 in a row. They kill 5 people and just change.
I've got to say as well, I think it's partly down to the hero tanking from Brit there, who managed to run, even though he's being piled by everybody, rushed to the northeast, round the orb, and had to make Sanity rethink what they were planning to do there.
I think Porridge just fell as well, making it 13-12. Rot now up. Another member falling for Rot, making it 12-12 straight away. This is so close, I can't really call it.
Oh, this is intense. Especially with his best of 3 as well. Could you imagine if every single round is like this?
Monk Jr.'s now trying to tank, and Handegg also trying to tank. Looks like another Rot member's fallen.
We saw Orkbat tanking for a very long time to begin with, so fair play to the guy for lasting so long and still getting back into the midst of the action.
Oh, definitely.
Brit is back in.
Looks like we have a few spears still coming in. People still got specs, using those to try and stun their opponents, get a bit of extra damage on, try and kill them before they run out of supplies. Obviously, the sooner you kill an opponent, the more useful it is to your teammates. Rot Brit right now, been tanking for such a long time, still alive, not too sure how, being healed over. That fantastic strategy being used by Rot.
You see the Venge Fly as well. You see the Venge Fly.
Yep, as he was trying to tank as well. Who knows, when we get a Venge KO as well, that'd be pretty sick to see in this tournament.
Yeah, so Brit had tanked for a very long time to begin with, and it looks as though Sanity have just kind of taken their eye off the ball there. Maybe they thought they'd done enough to drop Brit, but they've been doing so, they've kept them alive.
Saying that though, I mean, it is still 11-11 right now. It's 10-11, and Sanity are still in the lead still.
And if they can drop Brit quickly, that's a 2-op advantage, then they can focus their attention elsewhere. This could be Sanity's going to stand to favour.
Yeah, Brit's been tanking for such a long time. They're like, fair play to him. Using the obelisk, obviously, so his teammates can freeze. You see here, yes it is, it's freezing Sully, one at a time, so we can sit on the other side, take less damage. And right now, just 2 piles going on, one to the north, one to the south. Again, a few friends helping and trying to utilize that, but looks like Stefano actually is going away.
For Brit, sorry, the RNG on Brit there was so many zeros. Had no food left. I have a heart prey, but 0, 0, 0, 0. Finally got it dropped, so it's now it was 10 apiece. It's now 9-10 almost instantly.
Both piles died at pretty much the same time right there. And looks like Kev is the next pile for Rot. For Sanity, trying to tank as best he can, taking a lot of damage. Actually, no, absorbing quite a lot, but the 52. And now the Staff Dead spec, that obviously halves all melee damage while it's equipped, so no AGS specs can come in, no easy KOs, and he'll be able to tank it for a bit longer. Looks to the northwest right now. Rot, yes is me, is trying to tank as best he can as well. Kind of low on supplies. He's got 4 food left, no specs, 70 hit points. He's not going to last too much longer. If Sanity take him out, that'll be a 2-man lead, which they really need right now to secure this win.
Absolutely, yeah. So yes is me. Looks like he's managed to escape there, running towards the southeast, and it's not going to mess around. He's going to join the action as soon as possible. Throw some freezes in. It looks as though Rot is still focusing some attention on Kev, but as we saw employed in the previous round against Moonwalkers, they are either they're flitting between piles, or they have a kind of they have targets in mind where they'll hit one, hit the other, hit one, hit the other.
Yep, Scar right now for Rot, trying to tank as best he can. I think he's also actually almost out of food, and there'll be them to fall. And again, it's like taking one person at a time, getting everyone down to low food means they're not very useful in the fight. Obviously, are they? Having to run away and constantly have to tank and re-brew up, restore up.
Okay, sorry. To the southeast, we've got a 2-man B pile with Yes is me and Shezwan. I'm going to call him that because his name's quite hard to pronounce. But so Yes is me. He was a target of a pile. I don't think he has any food left now. Okay, he's down to 1 food left, and that B pile has been lasting for a very long time.
Oh yeah, that's really, really unfortunate for actually getting caught in that B-pole there, getting speared into it constantly. SC though, still alive for Rot, just, buying them a little bit more time than they need. But now it's 9-8 in favour of Sanity. This fight is so close, it's been close the whole way through. From the Sanity member, Charo about to be falling. He's got no food left by the looks of things as well, making it 9-7 if he falls quickly, and Sanity are able to stay alive a little bit longer.
Of course, I was just saying that, Rot seems to be focusing a lot of attention onto Kev there.
Kev again, yeah. He was actually a main pile for early, wasn't he? He managed to somehow get away. But they're saying, no, we let you get away for a bit, but now you've you're falling to us. It's 8-8. That's the equalizer for them. They need to get up that one kill. This whole time they've been, trying to catch up. Sanity have always been in the lead by that one op.
And look right to the south. Yes, is still alive.
Also, we have Handeg right now trying to tank as best he can for Rot against Alo's AGS, which is whacking him 36s and such. Oh, prayer drop from Vindicate right there for Sanity. Again, the first person to fall right now will give the opposing team quite a significant advantage. Yes is me, actually, who's been a pile earlier, only has one food left.
Oh, Vindicate,
and he's got 1v1.
Vindicate just tanked 2 AGS specs with a range prey up. I don't know how he's done that. Third one coming in, hit a 7. That's 3 AGS specs in a row. He's being hit by 2 AGSs. Please change your prey to a melee. Please change your prey to melee, man. Come on now. You just got whacked with 38.
He's still tanking them.
Come on.
Still tanking them.
And in that time, they've managed to drop Handeg. Vindicate's hero tank there, like the most miraculous RNG-based hero tank there, could have won it for Sanity if they can make the most of this one-man advantage.
He's got that Staff of the Dead spec up as well now. He's gotten away very, very easily. Look at him. I don't know how he managed to tank that one, but very, very lucky on his behalf as well. We had a little 2 versus 1 from Yes is me. Obviously, Yes is me was an earlier pile. Only has, what, 1 food left. He will fall very quickly here as well. 49 AGS swing. That's what you need to do a lot of damage.
Black Herb just to the west of that, with no food left, no prayer up. He's being whacked with an AGS. He's going with the spears. I think pretty much unnecessary now. Okay, yeah, they switched to the AGS because the guy has no food, 21 HP. Just knock him out, just bang him out.
And again, just 6-6. Again, Sanity having that slight lead, having that first kill just beforehand, before Black Herb also dies. Actually, no, Black Herb is still alive.
Black Herb's still
on 4 hit points.
Now he's dropped, yeah.
Now he's gone, yeah. And looking at the supplies right now of people on the screen, we have Rot actually looking very, very strong. Some members having 11, 7, 8 supplies, whereas Sanity only having 5, 2, 0, 5. Looks like Vindicate's about to die again now. In the northeast corner, he's been doing an absolutely fantastic job of tanking after all those AGS swipes.
Hero tank.
Somehow didn't kill him.
No food, 36 HP. That's a big
38. Yeah, I know, right. He tried as best he could. Everyone's out of energy now, having to walk back to the battle. That's a bit more time they're going to come back and not be able to help out their teammates.
It looks as though Sanity might be able to equalize here with a kill on Zhao
look at that
Lang Yu
B pile.
around the orb, and in doing so, their eagerness to drop Zhao Lang Yu has dropped them into a 2-man B pile around the orb. This could have changed it. This could have made it Rot.
Rot is currently 1 actually man up. It's now 6-5, and they are dominating right now, trying to finish off Sully. If they can take him down with this B pile still, that's going to be a distinct advantage. 6 versus 4, it's very hard to come back from that. We're into the 5v5 basically now. The similar kind of fight we saw earlier. Fuzzy just kind of sitting around, trying to take down Alo, trying to make sure these guys can't really do much damage, can't catch the freezes, can't catch the spears. That's really important too, so they can't get involved in the fight.
Yeah, what's really...
Oh my god, that 52!
Whack,
Did he just have he had no food left, to be fair. But if that was a KO, damn, that would have been pretty special.
Wow, this is incredible. I've got to say, though, it's still really interesting to see at these low ops. Rot are still splitting their attention, dividing their attention between 2 different people rather than focusing on one pile. And it seems to have paid off for them. We saw an AGS spec flying there, Alo tanking. I've got to say, Sanity are doing such an incredible job at tanking AGS specs with no prayer.
Another thing as well, I think Rot actually decided to attack all the mages first, the guys with that kind of spellbook. And looks like Sanity only have range tanks left, so they can't catch freezes. When they get caught behind a corner, it's just, useless for them. And looks like Rot is going to be 6-3 currently, going to be able to take the win potentially. Looks like it's on their favor. Sanity members only having a couple of supplies left.
Oh, big 51 there we go. So we're down to Sanity with 2 members left. Are they going to drop or try and hero tank? But like you said, they've managed to target the mages, so they have no fear of being caught by freezes. So they can just carry on running around with AGS, trying to get the whack. Look at those chasing with a blister. Surely, Korean girl, just throw your smites up, get that prey drop, end it as soon as possible.
This is like my worst nightmare, running away from like 5 Rot members or attacking you like that.
Look at the way they're walking towards
up.
you as well. It's like reminiscent of some sort of zombie horde, smiting up with the AGS coming right towards you.
I don't know how he survived this long. And to be fair, props to him for trying to survive a little longer. Where's his other member? Where's the other guy?
There we go. So strength is her. He's just kind of on the outside.
He's in the corner. He's flying 2 versus 1 right now. Oh, sorry, 1 versus 1. So obviously, Philippe, being a major, keeping him distracted, so he can't help out his teammates. It's a very, very confirmed win for Rot, making sure they can continue to do that damage. Taking 1 down and then flying him with no armor. The AGS is all in sync, finishing on this last member.
Yep, so I've got to say props to Zhao Lang Yu, who had no food left for quite a long time, but managed to tank and last, which obviously distracted Sanity. They turned their attention elsewhere once Zhao Lang Yu ran away. And we saw that happen with Brit 3 times as well. So Rot's tanking there, being the decider essentially. Yeah,
and Rot obviously take the first round there, making it 1-0 to them in the best of 3. They have to win 1 more, obviously, to secure the 10k, whereas Sanity are now trying to, win the next one and win the one after one otherwise. What was that, sorry? The match is currently under investigation, and they will clarify the result soon. Not too sure what that means, but...
in the meantime, anyway, we'll prepare for this. Will be the next round regardless. Either it will be the replay of the first one, or it will be the second round to play.
So that whole fight, actually, really surprisingly, like Sanity was in the lead. Like they were taking one op first. They were like a few ops up at one point. But Rot, you know, keeping that positivity, like, you know, staying strong, making sure they take down the mages first. Really smart strategy there. Saw the heals coming in as well. A few members, you know, tanking for that extra little bit of time. We have replays coming up right now on the screen. If you'd like to walk us through what's happening right now, Alec.
So right at the start here, 20 versus 20. It's mainly just people trying to find that pile, and we saw, okay, right on the screen now, we have that 3-man Rot B pile, which was essential and kind of dictating the start of the game. Because we did say, like you said, Sanity take a nice early lead. Not just to this point, so 18 versus 18. I think it was around the 16 op mark. There we go, 16-15. I think what we'll see is it kind of fall down to like 16-13, 13-10 or so. And then we saw it just even out very, very quickly. Rot coming with a big fight back.
Yeah, exactly, man. But I'm so surprised. Like, I really did not see Sanity being, you know, stay in this for so long. I thought we would just, you know, swamp them and destroy them. But they were playing so well from the start. Those AGS specs, utilising those well to get some early KOs as well. Really interesting to see. There you go, as the members going down. Actually, Rot actually also have those AGSs too. They've mixed up their roster a little bit. I believe before they were just having the crossbows. We have just had information through. Rot do have the win, making it 1-0 for them in the best of 3 10K final for the 20 versus 20s.
Yeah, so just to reiterate, I mean, it might be lost on the viewers there. This is for $10,000. That was the first match, for the first round of the match for $10,000 here to the winners of a 20 versus 20 bracket of the RuneScape PvP Championship. Yeah.
Looking around right now, as we saw, when Renatera, you know, started taking down those mages, it was pretty much all over Sanity. They weren't able to, you know, catch those freezes they needed to do. They were split up into different piles, and that's where Rot's kind of, you know, their ability to, you know, split up like that and take down members, you know, systematically, one at a time, but technically at the same time as well, was just really, really crucial for their win there.
Having a mage, or at least 2 mages towards the end, is so crucial catching the freeze as well, because when you're trying to protect your tanks, it's essential, right? Yeah. Otherwise, you know, you catch a freeze and you let them run away. Even if
with no energy at the end, you saw people running away and like not being able to run anymore because they have no energy. So
exactly,
really,
even if it only prolongs the person's life, like the pile's life for 30 seconds, you're doing an absolutely stellar job there. So Rot were very effective at picking off people one by one and dividing their attention between Sanity members, eating away at the room events. So that's what I think they were doing. They were targeting mages as kind of like off piles, and then picking their big pile for obviously trying to get the bangs. Also, you have obviously the obelisk being into use there. You know, if you freeze someone behind an obelisk, they can't exactly attack you if you go around. Yeah. Most commonly used by actually Sanity. You had a really good couple of attempts using that. I saw them, you know, in the southeast corner doing really well with that mark. Also, the spears we saw today. So many spears.
Spears being thrown, 2 members basically beside each other, with one in the middle being shot across constantly, so they can't get out of that.
I love seeing that.
That was sick, yeah.
That takes me back.
But
I do love seeing that.
Like the way to kind of like, you know, defend that, I saw one of Rot's members actually flying with a spear and spear one of Sanity's spearers off into the corner to like save his friend. That was a pretty, really smart.
That'd be great if someone managed to clip that. That'd be fantastic.
That would be brilliant. But yeah, coming up right now, guys, we have the Reign of Terror versus Sanity. Best of 3 second fight. We have a tweet coming up right now from Nelly. I think Sanity have got this. They've been training for this for over a year solid stuff with great fighters. Top lads, hashtag PvP Championship. Don't forget, guys, if you want to tweet in to us, hashtag PvP Championship, we'll read some on screen.
Absolutely, yeah. And, you know, they're right. Sanity are great lads. They've been hard at work practicing for this. Since we announced the PvP Championship, they were straight in. Even prior to the tournament was coming up, they were just trying to find fights left, right, and centre.
I guess you're right now in saying, like earlier you were saying how they were like, you know, fighting each other over the past couple of weeks, and it's been a very, very even kind of matched up, one taking one fight, one taking the other. Rot just squeezing that win in there despite Sanity, you know, having the lead for the majority of that fight.
No, I saw in the practice so many rounds end like this, actually, as a matter of fact. Yeah, so there was, they were agreeing, they did agree in the practice to a best 2 of 3, and it was so close in the end they went to a best 3 of 5.
Really?
Yeah, and it ended 3-2.
Wow, wow. Well, surely we'll see that. What do you guys think so far? Let us know in the Twitch chat. I get a straw poll soon. Who you think is going to win the next round? We have Rot versus Sanity, of course, coming up for the $10,000.
Cool. And we have another tweet there from Hi Forlek. Hi Alec. Me and Jerome playing with fire and watching PvP Championship. Hashtag PvP Championship.
Playing with fire. Don't know what to say about that
sounds
one.
Precarious, right? Is it a euphemism? I don't know. Or is it this literal playing with fire?
Well, cheers for watching the tournament regardless, man, on your weekend. Cheers everyone at home for tuning in as well. After this 20 vs 20, obviously, we do have the 5v5 finals. Yep. After that, the 1v1 finals, all of which being for $10,000 grand prize.
Yeah, this is $30,000 being given away. There we go. We have the schedule on the screen now. So right now, you see at the 7:30 BST mark, it's the 20 versus 20 finals, best of 3. We're now anticipating the round 2 of that, followed by the 5v5 finals, best of 3 once more, and then finally finishing with the 1v1 finals, which is a best of 5, just so we can, you know, we're crowning the best PK in the game here. Best of 5 really allows us to be very thorough in that declaration.
And in terms of like what you're looking most forward to, you of course used to be clanning, and I keep saying this because I think you deserve the credit for it. 20 versus 20s. This was your most like looking forward to matchup.
I don't know, yes and no.
Yeah?
In that I love to see the spotlight being put onto the clanning, but you know, the chance to see the best PK at Crown is something like I can't miss. Even as a clanner, I don't hybrid, I don't PK like as a single player. I'm strictly clanning almost. But I acknowledge the skill. I admire the skill. So seeing that one person Crown, I can't wait for.
What's your thoughts of for the 1v1 then? Who do you think's going to win?
I don't know, man. Like every time I tried to call it, I've been so wrong.
Same.
I seem to be pretty good with the 20 versus 20s, but the 1v1s, I just can't call it. It seems. I backed Parb to beat Celestica. I'm backing Parb to go all the way.
Yeah.
I love Money. The guy went on a huge mission during the ROT tournament, right? And he was just like, he astounded everybody, especially prior. Like, I'm top 10 PK in the game. Dude. The guy has shown it, so props to him for that.
I want to see Money go all the way. He's like that fairy tale story.
I'd like to see him go all the way, but I'm going to back Parb. And then maybe that will kind of like spark some fuel under Money to prove me wrong or something.
Maybe. But yeah, Reign of Terror, like you said before, guys, just waiting for the second round to come up of Reign of Terror versus Sanity. This one is for $10,000 grand prize. Don't forget to tweet in hashtag PvP Championship if you want to say hello. Let us know what you're doing, how you're enjoying it. But yeah, still waiting for the match to be underway.
Yep, and just a reminder as well, so we've covered the 1v1. It's going to be Money versus Parb. 5v5s. We've got Legends versus Fools, right?
Legends versus Fools, yeah. I believe Adam's going to be taking over and casting that with you. And Legends obviously being, well, the B team of Abuse at Park apparently, but they've shown that they are
wrong, right?
They are very strong. And here's the roster up on the stream right now, we have Fools versus Legends. Fools being the Finnish clan. Hopefully we can get a listen of their Discord at some point.
Yeah, please give us it. Like, we won't understand anything. Maybe we can try and translate. Give it a go.
You can try. I will have no idea what they're saying. But I look forward to seeing that one. Obviously, them having actually a bit of a few fights back in demo mode as well. Legends being predominantly a demo mode team. But they've come into Old School as well. They play on the normal servers too. Had a lot of experience together. Fools, on the other hand, been around for many, many years now. And they are here to win it. They are here to say, you know, we are the best 5v5 team. We want that 10K. And we're going to take it home.
I've got to say, I'm really surprised by Legends' performance against Frontline. I think everybody was unanimously backing Frontline to take the crown. But Legends there put in such a disciplined performance, some great freezes, awesome stuff.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I was really, really surprised to see Legends actually beating Frontline as one of the fan favorites. Frontline being, you know, one of those dominating singles teams that, you know, just destroys everybody on stream, destroys the other singles clans as well, tries to shut down other clans. We're having a 5-minute break right now, guys. Anyway, so we'll be back shortly for the final of the 20 versus 20s. Don't go anywhere. Currently, ROT are up 1-0 against Sanity.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, guys. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, welcome back to that. So thank you for staying tuned, thank you for being patient. A little announcement to make would be we are going to replay the first round of Reign of Terror versus Sanity, the final of the 20 versus 20. We have some proof that Sanity members DC'd with full inventories, so for the sake of consistency, I'd like to remind you of yesterday with Amusement Park being replayed against Lit, we've opted to replay first round. Yeah,
I mean, you guys can't really complain. You get another game to watch, so more content for you guys as well, I suppose. But we are going into the best of the three rematch now. Rot versus Sanity. This is for $10,000. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you think is going to win. We just saw there that first fight, Sanity, for the whole fight pretty much, they were up 1-op, playing really, really well. And towards the end, potentially due to the DCs that Sanity had, Rot then took that lead, was able to win with, I think, 5 members left.
Something similar to that, yeah. But obviously, when you get towards those low numbers, it becomes so much more crucial. So had the DCs had an effect, then obviously that match was so tight, which obviously...
it would have come down to the wire.
Yeah, so that's why we've made the decision there, for the sake of consistency and fairness, to replay this, $10,000 on the line. And if the game was that close, it's only fair that we, right that we replay it. Had we seen like a really one-way whitewash, it probably wouldn't be worth following through with the replay. But because it's so tight and the competition is so good, we want to see it played again.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we're jumping into this very shortly, guys. In terms of what to look out for in these 20 versus 20s, these are some of the biggest clans around. Rot, obviously, Reign of Terror, being around for many, many years now, being one of the, to be fair, undisputed leaders of the clanning world and of the clanning scene. Although Sanity here today to try and stop that. Sanity been around for a very long time now as well. Very experienced clanners. They're here to say, Rot, you know what? You've reigned terror for many, many, many years now. We're about to take it. We want this $10,000 or so. I know, right? I don't know where that came from, but it did.
Haven't practiced that a lot, right? Surely.
No, I promise I didn't. It's too cringy. But no, we do have Rot and Sanity coming out right now. You were saying before that you thought that maybe Sanity would win the first one, or Rot would win the first one. We go 1-1, then to 2-1, or we're about to see in a second again. Based on what you just saw a minute ago, have your predictions changed, or do you still think it's going to be a very, very close matchup?
I'm still backing a 2-1 finish. I am probably still backing Rot, because as we saw there, I mean, minus the disconnections, obviously if that did have a big effect. Rot were a slightly better team. Their tactics were I think they were more advanced than Sanity. Sanity following the pile very well, bringing Rot's numbers down, but Rot camping multiple people at a time and then getting the bangers in as well. I think Rot have just what it takes, but I also think Sanity will take a round. I'm still backing 2-1.
Yeah? I'm in favour of Rot.
Yep.
In favour of Rot.
How about yourself? I mean, that's probably your first bit of exposure to Sanity, right?
Yeah, I didn't get to cast it yesterday because obviously Adam was casting it, so... I think they're a very competent team. I liked them utilising Rot's tactic. I call it Rot's tactic because I only just saw Rot use it first. It might not be Rot's tactic.
It's an old tactic.
It's an old tactic. For the spearing between the two members like that was really, really crucial. Also, the AGS is coming in. So many AGS swings and some really big hit scene from there. I would like to see, as not necessarily underdogs, but as someone that, as an outsider's perspective on the clanning scene, Sanity's not a clan that I've really heard of that much. I'd like to see them come here today and take the $10,000, really make a name for themselves.
No, I get that. I mean, interestingly, I'm not one to follow underdogs. If I see a matchup with like the underdog and then the backed favourite, I'd love to see the backed favourite steamrolling the underdog. That's
really
more entertaining in my heart.
But
in this instance, I don't really think Sanity are the underdogs, as you're pointing out. I think they do have a lot of talent behind them.
Yeah.
And I'd prefer Sanity to win, personally, but I do think Rot will take it.
Fair play. Well, we're going to find out soon what you guys think as well in the Twitch chat. Don't forget to let us know Rot or Sanity.
Also Twitter as well, hashtag PvP Championship.
Of course, we get a few tweets up.
Something to read.
Damn straight. Anyway, right now, just waiting for these clans to kind of, get underway, sort themselves out, jump back into the game. This is the 20 versus 20 final best of 3 for $10,000. I feel like I'm repeating myself quite a lot now, but we do have a lot of viewers coming and going, and I'm just waiting for this match to really start up. In terms of clanning, you said you'll get back into it. Any clans that you're looking to join?
I've been warring with a clan called Vintage.
Okay.
I've warred a little while ago with Sanity. A few of my friends are in that clan. I'm present in the Adrenaline Discord, and they keep asking me to come.
President? Oh, president.
I'm not president.
I was like, you're already promoted to president of the clan, damn.
Yeah, I've got a little badge and everything, mate. No, I'm in their Discord, and they asked me to come and war with them. I think they're joking because they expect me to probably be really crap. But,
yeah. Wow, I got a good time doing it. I go personally on Sundays. I PK in a pure clan,
which
isn't the same as like the meta of main clanning. I think main clanning is very, very different. Obviously, on pures, you get hit by a few people, you're dead in an instant.
Yeah.
But it's equally just as fun because you're not risking much, so you can run about. Clanning's a part of the game that's been, I don't know, doesn't have really a light shed on it in quite a while now. Obviously, we have the demo tournaments where some prevalent clans really come forward and take the $10,000 prizes. But in general, clanning is something you can get involved with whenever you want. The tournament worlds are open as well for all members players. If you want to jump into the game, if you want to grab yourself some max stats, some max gear, have a bit of fun, then we do suggest you do so.
Yep, so on the RS official forums, you have like a dedicated clan section. That's good to find in clans, like introduction for clan recruitment and stuff. Also, Zybez still run a lot of tournaments. They run a dedicated ladder too. It was about, what, 10 years? Yeah, between like 15 and 5 years ago, there were dedicated leagues on the RS forums, like very, very active clans, 20 each in each ladder. But we're seeing that decline lately, so I'd love to see, hopefully the list has kind of really captured people's imaginations to get into clanning again. Well,
of course, this is the first PvP championship of its kind hosted by Jagex, apart from the 5v5 that went on 2 years ago, I believe, that Abusement partook, who later on actually fell off and unfortunately lost to Lit. But I think, hopefully, we're going to go to Chris and Adam in a second, and they're going to talk to you through what we've just seen.
Hey guys, we're back over here on the sofa with myself and Bodhi. Looking forward to these finals, really hoping to get into this very shortly. We're just waiting on a few more members from each team to get ready. But unfortunately, due to those disconnections very early on with players having near full inventories of food, it looked very, very apparent that it wasn't intentional, and we're going to go ahead and for consistency's sake, we're going to allow the rematch to happen. That being said, let's throw some brackets back up. I'd like to delve into the 1v1s and 5v5s, and then again talk about our 20v20s. So let's start with the 1v1s here. Beautiful. So this is the fight coming up. Bodhi, you said the 1v1s you're looking forward to the most. Monty versus Parb. Let's get into predictions and yeah, actually, okay. Pre-tournament predictions and now current predictions. So pre-tournament, did you think Monty was going to be in the finals?
No. Straight answer is no. I did not expect him to, but I was sort of, without openly mentioning it, I really wanted him to succeed. I said many times, especially when I was practicing and streaming, that I wanted Monty. I believed, Monty was actually going to beat Manked Up Mage, which obviously happened. Very shocked that he actually managed to beat Wiggled as well and move on. But I mean, with knocking out, the thing I like about this is Monty is actually the content creator killer. He takes out Manked Up Mage, content creator in the first round, moves on to take out Wiggled in the second, John in the third, who maybe isn't as big as the other two, but obviously streams every now and then finally takes Andre out, another streamer, to move on to the final. With Parb as well, Parb is actually the clan killer, because the people that he's been taking out throughout the entire time, he took Milan from Reign of Terror out in the first round, moves on to take D-Bolt out. I'm not too sure if he's actually in a clan.
Solo player.
Solo player, okay. Moves on to kill Cyber Cancer, who's also in Reign of Terror. 2 Reign of Terror members he takes down, and then finally takes Celestica out, who's actually in front line, to move on. So it's somebody who's killing the content creators against somebody taking the clans out, again with D-Bolt being the anomaly.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think early on we were talking about predictions, we were asking the community, and many of them did actually have people from the left bracket taking the lead very easily. I think many of the frontline guys were expected to be at least in the semis. Unfortunately, none of them there, but we do have the content creators making for quite a surprise. So yeah, Monty and Andre really putting on an incredible show. I really enjoyed that match, and I'm sure Monty's going to put on another incredible show against Parb here. But let's move on to the 5v5s then. There we are. All right, so oh, there they go. All right, so we have Fools versus Legends coming up very shortly. That's coming just after this finals for the 20v20s, of course. Those matches will be underway very shortly. Now, let's talk about Fools and Legends. Again, similar story here. Did you predict these guys to be in the finals?
I've been rooting for Frontline. I think the way they displayed their first 2 wins, the way that they took, I think their mindset was to kill a player as fast as possible and then take the 5-4 lead and snowball from there to take control in the game. So I was rooting for that aggressive strategy to actually go through to the end. Again, if I was to root for a final here between Fools and Legends, after seeing the actual roster for Fools, they are like, their team is strong. There's a lot of veteran names in there. They've been around for a long time. So to see them actually come to the final is awesome. And I think they're going to have a fantastic go. Obviously, as well, with Legends in that final fight against Frontline, they performed so flawlessly with a 4-0 win there and actually to move on. So I think regardless, these 2 teams are going to go in. I think I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible here. I'm actually probably rooting more in the favor of Fools, purely from the experience they've had. They've been around, some of the names have been around through every era of PvP in RuneScape, bringing it together now in the 5v5 to just see who can stand on top.
You know what's really surprising, actually, is if Fools go on to win this, and then Monty goes on to win it, that is 2 Finnish teams winning in those 2 brackets. Of course, the majority of the brackets, I believe, being represented by the UK. We've got some US. We do have many Finnish players in this PvP championship. But yeah, quite surprising to see them kind of just come through and just stomp. And as you mentioned, some of the older names, I know Bwakheim PB, one of the legends, I was so happy to see him return. One of the biggest and best content creators way back in the day when we're talking hybrid PKing. So Yeah, awesome to see that. I think the Abusement Park has to be the biggest upset here looking at this bracket. Of course, they went on flawlessly in the 5v5 tournament we did a couple of years back. Didn't lose a single match. Extremely cocky going into this one, as they rightfully should have been. But unfortunately, being taken out by Lit, that was absolutely incredible. Wouldn't have seen that coming from a million miles away.
Yeah, the thing with that as well is obviously when we take this over to Deadman mode, Abusement Park, obviously, I think in Deadman mode run under different names, but obviously in a way allied with Legends, and Lethal Intention obviously being one of the bigger Deadman mode clans that actually run around. But for them to go together, I think there was a lot of rivalry in that fight, and I believe Lethal Intention actually taking the win against Abusement Park, again, like you said, a huge upset from them. I think they must have gone into that quite confidently to win. Maybe they overestimated their opponents, and unfortunately, Lethal Intentions took them.
Yeah, well, I've seen tweets from both Lethal Intentions and actually Legends as well. Kind of surprised to see how far they've made it. Shawnee from Legends tweeting, they're just really happy to make it this far. Honestly, they didn't expect it to make it very far, but they might go on very well to win this entire thing, which is always an excellent story to tell. So let's throw back up the 20v20 brackets, and we can talk about the fight that's about to happen here. So of course, we're going to have Reign of Terror versus Sanity. That's the match we're waiting on to happen. And Reign of Terror to get here took out Moonwalkers, and Sanity, of course, took out Cutthroat. Now, Reign of Terror being the community favorite, I believe, by about 75%. And Sanity was about a 50-50% to take out Cutthroat. So I'm going to say that if we were to straw poll to the chat, Reign of Terror versus Sanity, it's probably, in fact, it's most definitely in Rot's favor. What do you think? Do you think Rot versus Sanity? Who's taking this?
I think there's a bit of commercial success that would I think most people watching this, they know who Reign of Terror is because they've obviously been quite a big name in everything going on the past 2 years with the PvP scene, whereas Sanity may not be quite as well known. So a lot of the time people see a name they recognize and they want to see them perform. So if you're voting for in favor, if you know who one team is and don't really know who the other one is, you're probably going to root for the people that you actually know. Now that's obviously not trying to say that Reign of Terror are automatically going to have the favored votes. The thing with this is Sanity's win against Cutthroat was very, very strong, whereas Reign of Terror were given a good run for their money from Moonwalkers. So Sanity, I think, walking into this one, had a very confident win against Cutthroat. Reign of Terror, obviously, with the win on Moonwalkers, who were obviously quite a big threat as well. Either way, this best of three should be great to watch.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think I'm personally not a fan of bandwagoning, right? You don't wait until the team is massive and they've won tons of tournaments to start cheering for them. You start cheering for them as soon as they make a name for themselves and kind of put on a display that you're proud of. So if somebody was to root for Sanity right now, you never know. 2 or 3 or 4 PvP championships down the line, they might be the consistent winners, and you can say I've been cheering from the beginning. And we've seen so much support in the Twitch chat for all of these teams and individuals. It has truly been very, very enjoyable to watch, I think. The Twitch chat spam, the emojis and all that, especially for the Finnish teams. Quite enjoyable. So let's talk about the future of competitive gaming as far as Old School goes. This is something that we were talking a little bit about earlier, an idea that we had. Potentially branching out from these PvP championships into actual in-game content we might be able to offer to you in the future. So one of the ideas that we're considering here is an arena, which would allow players to select a class. They could play as either a Pure, 1 defense Pure, a Zerker as a 45 defense Pure, and a main, potentially either maxing out at 70 base stats or just max 99. Which would you prefer to say, actually, 70s or 99s?
I feel in a way, if you put like the level cap as 70 defense, but you kept the offensive quite well,
yep,
there would be a bit more damage. If somebody makes a mistake, they can get punished a bit more, meaning the fight is more in their favor. If you were to put some of the people in the 1v1, well, everybody in the 1v1 tournament, take the max gear away, put them all on the 1 defense accounts with the best 1 defense gear, I guarantee the brackets would have looked incredibly different because of the way that it's more punishing to make a mistake throughout the entire fight.
Yeah,
so with 70 defense, as long as the gear matchup is obviously equal, which it probably would be, give or take a few items here and there. Most people, we've seen a few gear differences in the 1v1s as well. But with the lower defense, again, with 99 defense, you can, if you make a mistake and the player gets it correct, that defense level is your backup, and a lot of the times that can keep you safe. Bring that down 29 levels, a bit more punishing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that isn't obviously, as you mentioned, as punishing with these 1v1s happening right now, it does bring a bit more RNG into these things, but we see consistency in these PKers, especially guys like Monty, who are just going through and, you might say his first win was lucky, you might say his second win was maybe lucky, but when he's winning his semis and then going on into the finals and consistently showing himself to be one of the best in the entire game, you have to wonder when the luck runs out, and it's just skill, right? Anyway, speaking of this idea, so you would choose a class and you'd match with somebody else who chose that class. There would be Elo actually in this, something that we actually do have in the game. I think we have it in the games room. I forget what it's called, RuneLink?
Yes.
Is that it? Yeah, we've got like an Elo system for that. So we can actually, apparently, potentially, I don't want to confirm it yet, but we might be able to take it from that and offer it here. So you'd be matched with Elo, meaning that if I was 2,000 Elo and I went up against you who was 2,500 Elo and I beat you, I would take some of your Elo, you would lose some of yours, you'd fall a bit in the rankings, I would rise a bit in the rankings. Now, we would run this on, I think I'd like to run it on a seasonal basis. So we would eventually take the top 32, as per Elo rankings, and invite them into a tournament. From there, the season would reset right after. Free game, everybody gets to jump into the next season, build as much of their Elo as possible, and then we can just see something spectacular running year on, year out, and maybe, one day, just maybe, having a massive LAN with all 32 competitors on stage.
Yeah, the thing about that as well, just going back quickly with the last thing you said, that would be putting people on stage. You only need to put 2 of them on each side. You only need 1 PC on each side for them to compete on, and obviously just keep bringing them around, assuming there's only 1 fight happening per time.
Yeah.
Which obviously you've had this tournament, ran quite smooth, bit over the time schedule, but of course that wasn't predicted to actually happen. But once it gets to that stage, that would be awesome, because you can actually get the recordings and the POV of their characters. You can watch their mouse movements and how they compete, and you can really, really understand the skill gap in placing a player in the wilderness, where people call PKing just all RNG. You can really see what some players are doing to actually get the advantage and control the fights.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to be able to show the mouse cursor of these guys playing, because they're so quick. Obviously, we can't do that with these guys. They're playing from a very long distance away. We can show yours, of course. But anyways, we're getting a bit off of the topic here. We'd like to bring things back, guys. We're finally ready for the 20v20 finals. That is Rot versus Sanity.
Cool, hey guys, welcome back to us. We're 30 seconds away from round 1 beginning the game. I'd like to remind you we are replaying round 1. So this is for $10,000. This is best of 3.
Yep, Rot versus Sanity about to be underway in 30 seconds time right now. So last fight we saw Sanity versus Rot, and Sanity actually going up a few opts throughout the whole fight pretty much, until a few of the members unfortunately disconnected. They were leading by like 1 member each time. Are we going to see the same here, or do you think Rot's going to come back and now be like, right, now we know your play style, we're going to learn from it, and we're going to win?
I anticipate another close game. Honestly, like I said, I called a 2-1 win to Rot. I do still back that, I do still favour that prediction, but each game is going to be very, very close. Like, I'm talking maybe down to 6 members each, or maybe down to 6 members for the survivor team, yeah.
That close? Well, fair enough. Let us know in the Twitch chat who you're voting for, Rot or Sanity. Who do you think is going to win this one? Who's going to take home the $10,000? And straight away, we're into combat. A little bit of a barrage pile, actually. 3 barrage pile, is that? 4? No, 2 barrage pile for Sanity.
Moonboy and Riser. That's, I believe that's actually Rot caught in that one.
Yeah, Rot's caught in that one. And Siraz currently being the first target for Rot, being speared away, and Sanity trying to tank as best they can. Almost getting KO'd there. Able to tank it, potentially. Almost going down, though. First pile for Sanity as well. Hand egg.
Yeah, more spears flying in there for Siraz. They're still trying to drop him, but he's tanking well with his Ellie. I assume he's throwing on some P-Nex as quick as possibly can. Surely it's just a matter of time until he's dropped.
He's been taking so much damage. He's been smited and comboed out there.
Equally, they both dropped at the same time.
Hand egg as well.
Wow. So again, this is very quick. It's a war of attrition. One person drops, another person drops in the opposing team. I can see here from this angle I've got.
Another member, sorry to interrupt you. Allo, yeah, drop. Yep. Oh, you were talking about Allo. Drops really quickly there, makes it 19-18 towards Raw.
To the northeast, we see Sanity seems to be targeting Brit as they did last time. Brit survived for a very long time. Can he do it again? It's an incredible performance last time if they can maintain this tank. But at the moment, Rot are targeting Strength as her underneath there, and they've got the bang very quickly. So they're now 2 members up. Brit has managed to escape, run to the northeast.
This is so fast-paced, isn't it? Compared to the last match, where it was like, one person dying, and then like waiting about.
Quite pleased to see it, yeah.
Some really big barrage piles as well coming in from Rot onto Sanity right in the middle there versus Spike and Oops. 2 guys about to fall simultaneously. That will give them a distinct disadvantage against Rot if they lose 2 members just like that. Being speared into the pile. Although saying that, Brit is also getting comboed.
Into that. So in their eagerness to try and drop Brit, they've just ran into a B pile. Oops has just fallen. They're probably going to keep their pressure onto Vindicate or the other person who was in the 2-man B pile. It looks like it's going Rot Rot's favour very early on.
Yeah, as a result, it's now 19-16 for Rot. Spikes in the north corner being one of the piles the Rot's taking. This is their tactic they start using. They start dropping into little small sections, little clans, and start to take on several people at the same time. Whereas Insanity, down to the south, looks like they're on SC, trying to take him down as fast as they possibly can.
Yep.
But we see a 6th spear coming in from Rot Salad, actually, getting one of the spears from Sanity off, actually, and saving his friend's life.
So what we speculated last time was that Rot are purposely targeting the Sanity mages just to try and throw them off a bit. And I've just been watching that myself on my screen. You might follow. So you see Porridge Man here. He's maging, and he's taking a few hits every now and again. And then Mark Root, he was maging. He was taking a few hits every now and again. Essentially, as soon as Rot sees someone mage, they're going to hit him, make him stop maging, throw in his tank gear, and then, wow, did you see that combo,
the AGS? I think SC must have been almost out of food there anyway, but still, that 60 AGS definitely buys them a bit of extra time.
And then to the northwest there, you've got the 2-man B pile for Rot, so it's still possible for Sanity to claw this back, but at the moment, it's looking Rot's favourably.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I look right now, Monk Jr. is forced Sanity trying to tank against quite a few members of Rot, and again, that spear technique, ping-ponging him across to each member, so he can't do anything, can't get out of it. He needs one of his friends to help him, and it looks like Sanity Tappy tried to save him there, but got frozen underneath Karingo with a misclick. Really, really unfortunate there. A little B-pole coming in southeast of that, TS and Brit being speared on top of each other. That could be really big for Insanity, and to come back a little bit. There's currently 18-15 in Rot's favour.
Oh, I just see a staff bash there from Black Herb. That's really unlucky because Brit was so close. There we go. Brit has finally dropped, and then if Monk Juniors can survive this whilst Sanity drop another Rot member, maybe it's even.
Unfortunately not.
Monk Jewelers has fallen.
Towards the north right now, we have Rat Battle for Rot trying to tank it out against the Sanity members. So many of them here. That's the difference in strategy here, I think. A lot of Sanity members go on the same person, try and take them down as fast as they can, whereas Rot turn into these little teams, and they go around taking people out one by one.
Interestingly, right here, I've got Spike ZX, who we saw was one of the first piles.
Look at that. Look at that barrage pile.
Oh, wow. Yes, 3-man B pile
4
there.
people.
Okay, they've hit Rat Battle. That's those bats.
That was huge.
They stacked up very quickly. Who are they going to switch to? G-Jash or
no, spearing him into the pile.
Black Herb into it. You know, he's right in the middle of everyone. He doesn't care. He's got his smite up still. There we go. How about we just made a 3-man? There we have made a 3-man. No,
it's currently 16-14 for Rot as well now, leading by only 2 members now. Sanity try and claw it back. And still, this 2-man barrage pile is still around. Orcbat and Riser can't seem to do anything here. Just can't get out of this barrage pile. And Sanity members, you just see so many blue dots, don't you, in the same space. Take him down.
16-15.
And to the south as well, we have Sully tanking for Sanity, unfortunately out of supplies. Looks like he used all of them up, including his prayer right there. Got smited out at the end. Riser now the next pile for Sanity. It's 15-13. If they down quickly, that'll be almost an equalizer actually.
And the 2-man Felipe just ran into that 2-man with Riser. Wow. I've got to say, Rot seemed to be running into a lot of B piles. Salty Salmon just did it himself. Did he do that intentionally to try and detract attention away from Riser? I don't know. I mean, what, does he make himself to be a scapegoat, or is it just ball clicking? I don't know.
A way to save his opponent. We've not actually seen any of the Venge others coming into effect. Last game, we did see a lot of Lunar Spellbook being used, but this time round, not so much. That seems to be a dead strategy for them now. Korean Girl trying to spear Kutch into that barrage pile. If he can get that spear off, that'd be crucial for them. We have a 2-man, 3-man barrage pile.
Tappy. Okay, Tappy's ran away. That was good clicking.
Yeah,
he was
didn't really do much about
himself out of that one.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't capitalize on that kill there. It's currently 15-13 still, the 2-man lead for Rot. Although a 2-man barrage pile. Oh my gosh, so many times he's fallen into that, and now he's out of food, he's going to drop, as well as Zio, who's also going to take a lot of damage as well.
So Riser there running into that, really unfortunate for Zio Lanyu, because that person has made himself a target, and he's dropped
dead
again.
As well.
It's 13 apiece.
That makes it equalized.
Wow, what a comeback from Sanity here.
So we have Korean Girl actually spearing Grow into the corner there. I think that's the next pile for them. Looking at the corners again. Salty Salmon, we have Moonboy, we have Philippe. All these mages in the corner are on top of each other actually almost. And if they just sit in the corner, just constantly barraging, they do a lot of damage. They need to be taken out.
So another 2-man there on the orb. Like what? I don't know what Rot are playing up in terms of this.
They keep getting into these 2-mans accidentally, walking it and like not really talking to each other clearly, obviously, or just being pushed into them.
There. They managed to capture. So Fuzzy tried to run away. Sanity got the freeze there. They got the spear again just next to the portal. They can drop this person. They can take the lead.
That is the lead, yeah, just like that.
They're 3 down.
3 down with it. Now they're up 1 if they can take down Fuzzy in enough time. But it depends on whether Spikes can tank for long enough. He's currently taking on 2 members, Rot, Salad and Carpal Tunnel. Although he's got a little bit of help from Vindicate here. He's trying to freeze him. I think Spikes is actually out of food right now, so he'll drop pretty quickly. We're going to make it 12-13.
He's throwing a heartbreak. Hopefully he can bring it on. I want to see him survive because he's done such a great job.
Oh my god, I just saw someone go from full HP to no HP and like literally a tick. What was that? I think that was from Rot actually. So now it's 12-12 as Spikes also dies. I don't know how they killed him so quickly, but he literally went from green bar to red in an instant.
It looks... Also, cool, yeah. So just to give you guys some context, when we say the word B pile, what it is, it's a barrage pile. So essentially, the barrage covers a 3x3 grid around the center target. If you're caught within that 3x3 grid, you risk being frozen along with the target. So essentially, I'll hover over this person I'll hover over these 2 red guys here. So Lisp here would be the center of a B pile, and then TS, who was with him, kind of made up the B pile alongside him.
So that's like obviously a very, very interesting tactic to use. If you get the barrage pile, you can do a lot of damage with only one spell hitting more than one opponent at the same time. We currently have Korean Girl trying to tank northeast of the obelisk right now, getting speared out by Sanity, trying to get this next kill. They are losing 11 to 12. Rot is in the lead right now with 1 advantage. Charor being frozen in place, so we can't continue spearing Korean Girl. Great play from his teammates there, trying to secure, not let him die. Northwest corner, we have Stefano on very low HP, trying to tank against Philippe. Not doing much to his team, not really helping very much, not dropping, but again, just not really jumping into the mix, is he?
No, but I got to say though, I props to Sanity for bringing this back. But
that combo from Tappy, did you see that towards the west?
Yeah. Wow, what a hit.
He got his specs out like a 30-20-10, I think, stack in that instance, which makes it 12-9 to Rot. Rot clearly in the lead now with 3 people up.
Well, that's fallen really quickly.
Yeah, I know, right? Lisp in the middle now with the next pile for Sanity, trying to take him down as quick as they can. I think by keeping the mages out in the corners there, that means they've got way more mages left at the end. And I can just see Moonboy, Jash, we can see Salty Salmon, have been around the whole time, Philippe hiding in the corners. And another Sanity member is about to drop. Porridge Man just north of that northeast obelisk, almost out of food. He lasts much longer, he's got to try, because now it's a 12-9 lead to Rot.
Porridge Man has been out of food for quite a long time, actually. I had my eye on the invent we've got on the bottom right, and it seems as though Rot's tactic of
Vindicate
isolating...
as well is out of food, you're right.
Rot's tactic of isolating mages and just keep hitting them and then focusing on a pile, and when they come back in, hitting the mages again, forcing them into tank gear, is proving so effective at just eating away their invent. So even though it's looking very tight, or when it's like 15-15, 14-14, by that point in the match, Rot can then turn their attention onto the piles who don't have much left in their invent. Look at the spearing there.
Oh, that was a great little bit of a cooperation there from Charor and Black Herb for Sanity, getting that 2 barrage pile from Rot, Saland and Lisp. And they can do a lot of damage. You can see all the mages targeting them at the same time. Oh, look at that damage stack, but luckily got out of the barrage pile quick enough. Didn't take too much damage, but still, 11 to 8 now, still the 3-man lead for Rot. Sanity's going to have to do something very special here to get it back again, get a few KOs maybe. Looking at supplies right now, we have Vindicate on 0 food, we have Marks on 0 food, we have Chooch on 0 food. These guys are literally about to die. Yeah, if they don't do something to turn around the tables right now, it's going to be all over for them.
Equally, we've got Yes Is Me on 9, Carpal Tunnel on 7, or Carpal Tunnel of course being Milan, who we saw compete in the 1v1. I've got to say, even though the numbers, it's still possible for Sanity to come back. I
just saw Charor and Chooch. I was saying that they had no food left. They actually dropped in a barrage pile together, now making it 11-6. To come back from 11-6, it may be all over for Sanity right now. Very unfortunate for them, which means if Rot do win this fight, being a best of 3, they'll have to clutch it back in the next fight, unless they're going to be losing to Rot for the $10,000.
I've got to say, yeah, it's at this point, it is inevitable that you're going to lose. I'd probably drop and then focus on kind of trying to amp up my clanmates again, because it's the best of 3. There are still 2 more rounds.
Exactly, it's not over yet.
And so in the first round, which we saw marked invalid, and this replay, both were very, very tight and competitive matches. So I fully expect the next match and probably the following match, if Sanity win, to be the same. Yeah,
really interesting strategy there. If you look at the tournament spectator as well, at the bottom right, we have literally like 5 of the members left, but every single one has 0 food. So they were taking it in turns to try and take them down a lot and try and kill them as quick as they possibly can. But no, not taking them out of the game just yet. Trying to concentrate on them so they can't help their teammates. They're out of the fight. They're just having to eat up, concentrate on tanking, and then changing targets to get someone else so they can't fight as well. No, really interesting strategy, because obviously the whole time I believe that again Sanity was up a little bit or trying to catch up and then up at one point. But no, Rot just dominating here, showing their true strength as being one of the greatest multi-clanning clans in all of Old School RuneScape.
Another fantastic round there. Yeah, so that's $10,000 to be played for there. One more. Well, yeah, so it's best of 3. That was the first of it. We replayed the first one. So if Sanity win, it will go to a decider, the best of 3 decider. If Rot win, of course, it's going to be a 2-0 win for Rot. Yeah. And again, there can't be any complaints from Sanity because that will be an overwhelming win, 2-0.
So what did you think about that match then? What did we see there that we didn't see in the last fight? Personally, for me, I was very surprised that Rot changed their tactic of using the Venge Other spell. Yep. It's not Venge Other, well, Venge Other, and also the Heal Other spell in the Lunar Spellbook. They used that a few times in the past fights, and it actually proved to save a few members and keep them in for a bit longer. But they changed the tactic up. Why do you think that was?
I think mainly because maybe it's kind of the opposition they were focusing, because in the earlier match Rot had against Moonwalkers, maybe they felt that Moonwalkers didn't quite pose the threat that Sanity did. Sanity being slightly more, I think had Sanity came across Moonwalkers, Sanity probably would come out on top. So maybe it's a level of organisation. They thought with Moonwalkers they could get away with that, make for a more convincing win. but maybe it wouldn't pay off for Sanity.
I really thought Sanity was going to take that fight as well. As you can see in the highlights right now, Rot just kept going into barrage piles there. I don't know what they were doing, getting speared in as well. And we were saying to ourselves, like, oh, what are they doing? Are they paying attention and stuff like that? But clearly it didn't matter. They still won the game with quite a lot of ops left.
So yeah, I mean, we kept seeing the Rot running into barrage piles, but as we said, Rot keep targeting mages. So if it gets to a point where only one mage or two mages are left targeting the B pile, it's inconsequential.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, the whole way through it was pretty close. But then towards the end, obviously taking down those supplies, let those people stay out for a bit longer, but they can't do any damage. That just means they're not really in the fight, are they? Let us know in the Twitch chat. How do you think the next game is going to go? Rot versus Sanity. Who is going to take the $10,000? This is a best of 3 with Rot taking the first game.
Yep, also on Twitter as well, hashtag PvP Championship. Let us know your thoughts on what you're watching. What have you been up to? Have you cancelled anything today? Just kind of tune in. We want to hear.
And as we said before, just looking around now at the replay as well, I don't know, just in general, they've got very different strategies. As I said before, Sanity was just kind of like trying to take out one pile at a time, concentrate all their efforts onto killing one guy and then move on to the next one, whereas Rot play it very differently. They split up into little teams of like 3 and 4, and they just get people's supplies down, making sure that no one can really help the piles, and then eventually, take them all out and clear up.
I think Sanity really have to mix up their tactics in this one, because if they play the same game again, Rot are going to do the same thing. They're going to camp their mages, they're going to isolate them from the game, and Rot it's going to look like it's close. It's going to go to probably at 14 ops, maybe 10 ops apiece, but then it's just going to go overwhelmingly Rot's way, because the Sanity mages are eating up their invent, and then they're going to become the pile. They have no food left. The tank, they're going to drop very quickly. Like we saw there, it was very slow going from 20 to around 13, and then as soon as it kind of hit 13 down to 11, it just plummeted to 0 very quickly because the invent were gone.
Do you reckon that in this situation, that Sanity, though, as a team, like obviously this is the final of the 20 versus 20 $10,000 championship, do you think at this point they're going to be like, right, we've got to readdress all of our strategies right now, we've got to change ourselves to fight Rot like this, or are they going to stick their basic tactics the way they've done it the whole time for years potentially, or practice?
I think they're going to carry on warring as they have been, because this style of warring was still very prevalent around 2010. There are slight changes, obviously the difference in gear, Ancestral wasn't there, the Ballista wasn't there.
That's true.
But generally the way they're conducting themselves with the piling and spearing is reminiscent of 2010 RSB style warring. Whereas what we're implementing is like the camping mages, which again we saw a lot of back then, but it wasn't so prevalent.
Well, for Sanity's sake, then I hope that they do change the tactics up, or at least that you're wrong, that this old school tactic won't do anything for them. Again, like I said before, let us know what you guys think. Hashtag PvP Championship on Twitter. After this tournament, we also have the 5v5s final coming up. After that, we have the 1 versus 1 final coming back. Obviously, each one is worth $10,000 grand prize, so what a crazy amount of money to win. And what would you do if you won $10,000 as a solo player? What would you spend that on?
Probably like a better rig or something, start streaming.
A better rig to start streaming? What are you going to stream? RuneScape and PKing?
Well, I think so. I mean, if you're crowned the best PKer, you have such a platform from Jagex saying this guy is the best. You have to utilize that, capitalize that. So one of my worries was that one of the underground PKers who we saw a lot of, some very talented guys performing, they had won and then carried a low profile, didn't utilize all this exposure, right? So you've got thousands and thousands of people watching them absolutely decimate people.
We've seen a lot of streamers, like 1013 as an example. We've got Moni, who's always been in the community, always been streaming daily, and this is such a good boost and a good exposure for all those players. If you want to check them out, people are always streaming on the RuneScape Twitch channel section. Feel free to check other streams out. I think Moni will be streaming his final probably in a few hours, I imagine, as well.
So yeah, I mean, if Moni wins, there's no doubt that the guy is going to carry on streaming RuneScape with a bigger profile because he's won the championship. If Parb wins, is he going to carry on maintaining a very low profile, or is he going to say, you know what, this is going to kickstart a career, or at least like a very exciting side project for him? Yeah,
I mean, as a member of Lemon, I think he was. He's obviously in the singles community. They do make videos. There is a lot of beef between all the different clans. So maybe this is, if anything, it's like the bragging rights. Someone from your clan has kind of done this. They've gone to the tournament and they've won and they've taken $10,000 home.
Do you think that somebody from the singles community, realistically, as it is, could become a streamer or content creator with the kind of content they put out and the beef they have, or would they have to kind of make it more family friendly?
With the beef they've got, no, definitely not. Have you seen Edge of the World 25 sometimes when they're flaming each other out?
So if had one of these like really prolific singles PKers won, they would have had to, if they wanted to make a name for themselves, they'd have to tone it down. They might not want to do that. I probably would, for the chance of making
exactly. Make your name of yourself and enjoying yourself streaming, obviously, as well. I don't know, man. We're jumping into the game momentarily, actually. Would you mind logging into your mod account, my friend?
Of course I will, my friend.
Fantastic.
So
I logged out accidentally.
Away. This is going to be the second of the best of 3 between Rot and Sanity. Obviously, we replayed the first one. Rot won the first round. looked like a close game, but Rot's tactic actually seemed a bit deceiving because they were just camping away at mages, making them eat the invent, and then drop the piles very quickly after that.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like you said before, it's 1-0 to Rot in this best of 3. If Rot take the second game, then it's all over for them. For Sanity, that is. Sanity need to win this one back, clutch it back, and then win another one to take home the $10,000. I really hope personally it goes to a best of 3 because I love watching RuneScape content. I'm sure you all do it at home as well.
Absolutely.
But either way, I mean, we've had some serious competition so far, and good luck to both teams. We're going to jump into the game momentarily. 1 minute left until this best of 3 continues. Round 2, currently Rot 1-0 up.
I've got to say, how are you enjoying casting for the 20 versus 20? Because you were you didn't really know what to expect.
No, so I've casted the demo tournaments the past 2 years or so now, and demo is a game that I play every single time. Even if I can't compete in the final, I'm always playing. It's such a fun game to play. In terms of clanning, I've never really done any 20 versus 20 main clanning, so for me, this is very new. I'm giving my best shot. I'm glad that I've got you here beside me to kind of, you know, run me through it. But we're jumping into the game right now. 30 seconds left. Let's jump right into the action.
Cool. So at the moment we're seeing Rot, I believe. Yep, this is Rot DD'd. So Rot are the red colour reflected, of course, at the top of the screen you're watching there with the 20 versus 20. And we're seeing everyone rush straight to the middle wall. Are Sanity going to do the same? We're going to go straight in, like smashing heads. No, they're DD too, buddy. Or
no, we're going straight into it.
So a DD, what's standing for Death Dot, essentially is a way of kind of masking where you are on the minimap. See here the orbs, very old tactic.
At the same time, though, like the risk of being in a DD is if they catch a barrage pile, for example, they're going to hit a lot of hops at the same time.
That technique is usually to kind of organise themselves before the fight starts. DDs were effectively used before Ancient Magics came out. Of course, when Ancient Magics came out, that just absolutely destroyed the need for barrage.
Yep, so sorry, I'm just getting my account against the game.
Not a problem. Okay, so here we are. We see Troll dropped very quickly.
Oh my gosh, that was a quick one.
Taking the lead there very early on. I see who they tie. And the TS. TS has just fallen as well. Wow. So it looks like one apiece straight from the off.
Oh wow, so that's 19 versus 19 right now. Both clans trying to do the best they can. And looks like actually Sanity stinks the same attack to these before.
They caught everyone. Qzim are caught in that. They're stacking up the hits.
Oh wow, that is some huge damage.
Great spearing. Can they keep on stacking? So keep piling. Yep, they've got one drop there. Can they drop? Yes is me. Yes is me is being targeted right there between all of them.
That's 19-18 now in favour of Sanity. Now, what I said before, you know, Rot taking those little piles together. Now they've decided to continue with their strategy, killing them so quickly. That is a huge advantage for them. That's 19-17 for them now. Up 2 members already.
Trying to join the fray again. It's looking like, well, this is a very, very strong start from them. Can they catch the next pile very early on? Strength is her towards the southeast. Looks to be the subject of the Rot pile. He's tanking quite well for Sanity. Spears come flying in. There's not much you can do there. Look.
Oh, there's the ping pong technique again.
Yeah, setting themselves up the ping pong.
Is that the correct term for it? I'm going to call it the ping pong from now. That's what
I liked it. Let's do it.
Oh, here we go. He's going to have to tank. He's got Prey Ranger. Oh my gosh, 41-27 stack. He went down really quickly.
Time, Sanity did manage to drop another Rot member towards the north, though. So
well, they needed that.
Yeah.
So where is Sanity right now located? They all split up into little teams, or they all together?
They're still maintaining one single unified pile towards the northeast. Whereas Rot, you can see here, they're randomly hit. Well, not randomly, because very, very targeted. They're hitting mages off for Sanity. As best they can.
Towards the north now, someone else dropped. I believe that was a Rot member making it 17-15.
Korean girl there, who we've seen tank so valiantly in previous rounds.
Oh
so
yeah, he's done really well.
2-person advantage.
Looking to the northeast again. I believe a few mages, and that's where Sanity's at right now.
Sanity are located. We see Rot Salad being targeted there. Some fantastic spears. Look at them. They're trying to keep themselves away. Maybe this is what they were doing to try and counter the Rot tactic of hitting mages. They're making sure they stay all the way together around the northeast, putting the mages behind the range tanks.
Yeah, they've learned from their mistakes right now, and this guy's about to fall for Rot if he does.
The time we've been spectating this, it's gone 15-16, so Rot climbing back. Must be superb effective. Wow.
Yeah, looking at supplies though, based on the tournament view right there that you had up. And Sanity having 15 supplies, like full inventories pretty much, and a lot of Rot members now, kind of like the opposite of what was happening last time, having 6 food, 9 food. Look at that pile going on right there. Rot Salad down so quickly. Still had 6 supplies left as well.
If I was Sanity there, I'd call that instantly northeast. We see one with Sanity member there, but if I was Sanity right now, I'd want to call Rat Battle, because we saw the guy in 2 B piles earlier. He tanked for a little bit more. His supplies must be a bit lower than everybody else, but it's now 14,
Look at that B pile to the northeast.
Well,
there was a B pile for a second on Rot again, then walking into each other. Not sure what that's about. Handegg right now being piled in the northeast corner, I believe. Again, quite a prevalent member who's always doing a lot of damage and tanking for a long time. So want to take care of him as fast as they can, get rid of those higher level players.
But what we're seeing there, so Vindicate, a mage for Sanity. He's taking a few hits there. Why? Because Rot, even though they're not piling him, they're trying to damage him, make him run away.
So he can't help as well.
Yeah, make him run away, either make him switch to his tank gear. Great spear in as Handegg was very low in health there. Can they finish it off? He's managed to heal up very well, so great tanking there.
Oh, they've got the heal others again in once more, with the Venge others as well, with the Luna Spellbook.
Oh, nice to see, very nice to see. So Siraz there, tanking on the east. A big
52 from the Ballista.
My friend, I'm very unfortunate.
That combo though, they're making it 14-13 for Rot. Now they've taken the lead, they were 1 down and they're 1 up. Sully right now trying to take on that barrage pile. Skurs and Handegg being caught in it again once more. Handegg getting caught in barrage piles, but getting healed up by his teammates, not letting him fall, making sure he's still got supplies left, now being able to get away and survive for a little bit longer.
And in that time, I assume Rot are going to carry on keeping away, hitting the mages as much as they can, working away their invents. Even though it looks quiet, very close. Another 2-man there almost, but they're still trying to focus on Handegg. Handegg has dropped.
Fallen finally. Now tried to use the redemption as well to stay alive for a bit longer.
They can switch pile very quickly and effectively. Sanity could claw this back. I mean, it's 13 apiece, but Rot
looks
like they're in command.
Northeast, straight onto the spear piles.
Yeah, there we are. So look, we're seeing Sully there being pushed back. Lisp being targeted.
Oh, is that a 2 barrage pile? Oh my gosh, that combo. Smited as well.
Those hits are stacked up. So underneath that, Tappy, I imagine Tappy's going to be the call. The next one. No, southeast. We are southwest. We have Porridge Man being targeted.
And also southeast for Sanity as well, trying to pile out Rat
Battle. Still alive.
He's been tanking for a long time now, getting smited a couple times. But buying your team that extra time, when you've still got supplies left, is so crucial.
Absolutely.
And makes that little bit of difference in these fights.
He's still hanging on. How are they doing this well?
That's mad. Also, like obviously, when the guy comes in with the spear, they're freezing him off, so he can't spear. And actually KOing the spear as well, making it 13-11, I believe. Oh, sorry, that was a Sanity kill. 12-12, the equalizer. Can Sanity bring it back?
I don't know. We've got a 2-man here. Just
a 3-man. No, it's a 2-man.
Oh, it's Twente who's underneath there.
Oh wow, look at those combos.
Grew up a screw up. Has just been speared with very low HP, and there he is.
Comboed out.
Great spear, superb spearing there from Ryza, who we saw last round in a lot of B piles. Actually, I think making amends there.
I think next to that obelisk to the north there, actually a few people were actually barraged and frozen there, so they couldn't do anything, which made them completely useless to the clan, which is why Rot has now taken the lead and it's become 12-11.
So what we see here, they're still trying to target, the Szechuan person. I can call that just a Rick and Morty reference. Still hanging on. Big spears though. They need to drop this person very quick, because otherwise, it's going to go Rot's way.
Look at that Sanity tank taking a lot of damage in the north corner as well. Right click, Porridge Man, there he is.
Still hanging on. The guy was targeted very early on. They dropped off him. Targeted again, they dropped off him. He's just eating up his invent. He's running south, and running south has caught him in a free 2-man with Vindicate.
They're going to switch piles straight away. As you can see, they've left Szechuan away. He's running to the corner. They're even off him and just straight away move piles. That is some serious quick communication. Turning around and making sure you do as much damage output as you possibly can.
I feel for Porridge Man. The guy was desperate to get away. He was being targeted. He was being camped. But in doing so, he's absolutely stitched up his friend Vindicate there.
He's never going to hit the end of this from his clan right now, being streamed like this in $10,000 tournament.
Yeah,
and that cost him his life and Porridge Man's life.
Porridge Man dropped, and obviously Vindicate.
That's Vindicate's fault.
You see the piles adding up right now. It's 11-10 though. Sanity are keeping it very tight. At the moment, we've been following Rot's escapades, but Sanity is still doing work, as we can see from the member count.
Oh yeah. Looking to the northeast corner right now, using that obelisk very nicely to barrage someone and then hide behind it so you can't do too much damage. Actually, learning from last mistakes from the last fight, a lot of Sanity members actually died early on in terms of the mages dying. Now they're staying around the edges. They're trying their best to kind of stay alive, because they know how crucial those barrages are in the final couple of minutes of the fight.
I've got to say though, it doesn't look like Sanity have many range tanks left. So what we see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 mages left, leaving only 3 ranges. They don't have any AGSs, they don't have any big hits. All they can hope to do is catch some freezes. So it's looking like you've got to balance the ratios perfectly. You lose too many mages, you've got no freezes. You lose too many ranges, you lose.
Which is completely the opposite of what we saw last time. Last time round, we saw them taking on the mages first, only being left with tanks. Maybe this time around it's been a bit of a mind game, switching that over. Either way, you haven't got enough of one certain type of style, and you can't really win this. You haven't got a good roster.
What do you reckon? It was your observational skills has just exposed Rot's tactics, so they switched it up. Like, we're not going to target mages anymore. We're going to target rangers. Look at that spear stacking up.
It's all about those mind games, man. Mark Rook's going down as well.
Unfortunate. It's now 11-6. I think it's safe to say that Rot have taken a 2-0 victory.
And if they have done, if we can confirm that momentarily, that will mean that they win the $10,000 grand prize of the 20 versus 20 championship. But right now, still staying in it, staying as long as they possibly can. You never know, you might get a few easy KOs, you might get a few combos that come out and making it a bit equal. But right now, only with the mages, as we said before, no range tanks. You've only got one type of style.
They're still trying to work the pile though. So here we have Citroen. So basically, so to give some context again, mages typically do carry a spear, rangers typically do carry a spec web. That's just kind of how you line up. That's how you make it sure. So the rangers obviously aren't, they're not burdened by having to wear robes, which would lower their melee attack. They can tank up in the range gear.
Jash actually down to no supplies and making sure he's out in the corner, you know, trying to survive as long as he can for Rot, just in case, you know, they do come back and get a couple kills. It's crucial that he stays alive for as long as he can. They want to secure this 20v20. They're not stopping yet. Even though taking the armor, no armor.
Still,
the disrespect, man. Is that a Monk's Robe top that he's got on? No, it's just the top he's wearing.
That's the
I was going to say, if we had a Monk's Robe top in two, that is very cocky of him, very arrogant. South Dead Spec coming up for him. He's not going to be able to survive much longer, but he's just trying as far as he can.
Well, there. Oh no, he hasn't.
He's not frozen yet. If he gets that freeze, though, he could potentially safe spot quite nicely.
And in the meantime, we see Spike being targeted by 3. We see
that's what we saw earlier, isn't it?
Now
Rot kind of like, you know, splitting up to little communities, little groups, and targeting different people to try, you know, make sure they can't get involved and can't contribute to the the fight.
When I've been calling in wars, kind of gone this way, it's pretty much when you get to this level, it's like, you know what, guys, just mop it up.
Yeah, no, definitely. But I mean, in a $20,000 tournament, best of 3, you can't really blame them for trying to stay as long as they can and take down a few more members. At least then they can say it's not been a 10-0 victory, maybe it's a 9-0 victory instead for Rot. I'm not too sure though.
So Spike's dead. I think he was one of the first piles, and the guy is tanking for a very long time, even now at this later stage. The name rings a bell. I want to say he might have been like Warlord of Dynasty Elites back in 2011, something like that, with 2 Cold Killer. I'm not sure. Again,
just going to show like the sheer power of Rot, you know, their tactic of, you know, splitting up into little groups, taking down members systematically, making sure they can't contribute to the fight. That, I believe, is what won this fight. Look at all the smites up now, running around completely naked, finishing off that last member. Chooch being one of the people that had no food left way earlier, but they left him.
Yeah.
So he was being too scared, and there we go. That confirms Rot's $10,000 victory at the champions of Jagex' first ever PvP championship. $10,000. Oh my gosh.
Congratulations, Rot. That's $10,000 for the 20 versus 20 bracket.
Confirmed it.
2-0 win. I called a 2-1 victory to Rot. I was proven wrong again. I don't think any prediction I've made has come to fruition. He keeps saying I'm this kind of bastion of experience and knowledge. I have no idea what I'm doing, it seems.
Well, I mean, with that being said, that means Rot do win the tournament. They've won several before. We've got some replays on the stream right now to watch back of the fights we just had. Currently, Sanity obviously put up a really good fight, and they showed themselves really well in the first round. They were actually up quite a few times, but Reign of Terror, with that tactic, I believe it was the Venge Over, the Heal Over as well to keep their members alive, in you know, coalition with those small piles, taking people down, was really, really good.
Yeah, an incredible performance, honestly. So we saw their tactic first of all, mages, like you said, and then they switched to the ranges. It's been absolutely awesome. Sanity have the experience, but they played that second round exactly the same way they played the first, and they needed to do something different, and they didn't do it, which obviously played right into the hands of Rot.
We saw a lot of barrage piles coming from Rot there, a lot of mistakes being made, not playing completely perfectly. You know, kudos to Sanity for doing so well, and the whole way through, really, up until the last couple of minutes, it was very, very even-sided. I didn't really know who was going to win it, but obviously Reign of Terror coming out on top there. 2-0 victory, very solid victory. Can't be uncomfortable with that. Could be very, very happy with winning like that way. But yeah, overall, very happy with how it went. Not surprised. I don't think the Twitch chat's surprised either. Rot being one of the favourites to win potentially, and Sanity being a clan that's been around for a very long time, as I said before, not quite able to, you know, dethrone the leaders of multi-clan PKing, Reign of Terror.
I mean, yeah, Rot have a reputation for a reason. They're a great clan. They do win. They win often, and they've done it again. 2-0 there. Fantastic performance. Sanity, hats off to you. You provided some great competition. Both rounds were very close. It wasn't one-sided either time.
No, definitely.
Cool. So at the moment, we're waiting for an interview with the Rot leader. So we'll still get their thoughts on the performance of the tournament, see how it went for them, how they felt against Sanity and Moonwalkers, Tropical Pirates, of course.
What were your favourite moments from that final of the 20 versus 20 then, Swin?
I don't know, man. Like, there's so many times we thought, yeah, Sanity are back in it.
And
and then we're following them for a while, and they're dropping like 2 or 3 Rot members. But in that time, Rot have dropped 6 or 7, completely unbeknown to us. So we're like, wow, okay.
For me, it was the I don't call it the ping pong technique. Let's make that a thing. That spearing between 2 players was so crucial. And then out of nowhere, you see like a member trying to save his teammate by spearing one of the spearers off and like freezing. And oh man, it was sick to see.
First of all, mash the potato and keep yourself logged in.
Oh yeah, my bad.
We'll do that one.
I keep logging out and not being able to watch the games, which is why I'm looking at your screen.
That's cool. There we go.
Thank you so much. I'm not a JMod, so I'm learning. Thank you very much. Anyway, next up we have the 5v5 finals as well. We also have the 1v1s to come, so don't go anywhere. We have the interview you're going to do with the Rot leader who's just come online. You're going to take that in a second.
Cool. So first of all we'll have the interview, and then that will be followed by the 5 versus 5 final, which is between Legends and Fools. Yep, Fools beat Lit, and then it'll be the 1v1 final between Andre and Bob.
What do you think about the 5v5 then? Who do you think's going to take that one?
Oh man, well Legends really surprised me with a frontline victory, so I'm going to go Legends. Fools, of course, very, very experienced. They were represented by Ian Marie in the 1v1. He lost, represented in the 20 vs 20, but he lost. So they're really trying to redeem themselves and make a name for themselves with the victory here.
For me personally, I want to see Legends go through as well. I think it'd be awesome to see him. Well, yeah, a few of them are my friends. PK'd for many years now together. Fools, though, you know, being a Finnish clan, they've really shown that their power here today as one of the best 5v5 teams, if not the best, if they win the next round. 1v1-wise, I'm still voting for Moni. I want to see Moni go all the way. I really do.
Cool. So the interview's ready. So we're gonna get going, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Who's online?
Hello.
Hello. How's it going, man?
Ooh.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Really good, dude. How are you? Like, it's really hot in the office. How's it going? Ooh. Like, tell us around your surroundings at the moment. How have you prepared for this tournament? What, are you just chilling in your room or something?
Oh, man. Yeah. Well, so as soon as you guys announced the tournament, the whole team got ready. We got everybody ready. Everybody started practicing days in and out.
Yeah, I followed you guys for quite a while, like catching rounds when I could.
Yes.
Were you worried about fighting Sanity, having fought them in the past couple of weeks and it being like, you know, quite evenly matched according to Sween? Is that the case, or were you stomping them the whole time?
Yeah. Yes, we knew Sanity was going to be our toughest competitor here, and you know, but the thing is, we practiced against them a few times as well. They got a few wins off us as well, but most of the time we were pretty confident.
Yeah. I've got to say, part of Sanity's application, actually, they said the whole clan world wants to see a ROT Sanity final. Please let us give it to them. So we did that. We did just that, and you guys came out on top, of course. We want to get a bit of info. I mean, every single player knows the name ROT. We want to try and dig a little deeper. Tell us about the team. How long have you been warring together? So the 20 you had on the field today, have they all been consistent experienced members? Do we have any newbies among them, or is it like proper veterans there?
Yes, most of our team is mostly veterans that have been doing this pay-to-play CWA fighting for like a really long, for years since like 2000 easily. You know, they know this game in and out. They know like what to do exactly under all kinds of situations.
Oh, of course, yeah. Awesome. You mentioned you thought Sanity would be your biggest competition. Was that just because you saw them on their side of the bracket? Or was there any other clan in the 20 versus 20 bracket that you thought you wouldn't really want to fight early on?
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question again? I'm sorry.
Sure, yeah. So you mentioned like you figured Sanity would be your biggest competition. Was that just because they were one kind of you fought against them before, or were there any other clans you thought you were quite wary of taking on?
We fought against them with not our full stack team.
Oh, sure.
We fought against them, in practice a few times before, and they've gotten a few wins off us here and there. But most of the time, like in the back, we always knew like once we had our 20 stack team that we would win.
Okay, so confidence throughout them.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, just from fighting other clans, we just knew like there was no other real competition out there for us. Like,
nice. I love the confidence, man. I really do. Yeah. And you know, it's been backed up. They won 2-0.
At the end of the day, they've won several Dynamo tournaments now, and this has been the first PvP championship. You know, reigning you guys the winners of the 20 versus 20 section.
Yeah. Did you happen to catch our casting of it? Because we think we figured out how you approach each fight, right? So you're camping mages, you're isolating them to make sure they can't hit your piles.
Right. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, I don't want to go too much into the tactics, but you know, keep it like. You know, like keep it like general here. I mean, we can do like targeting of like certain mages and stuff like that, or certain rangers and stuff like that. But we keep it all very like in order and stuff. So yeah, I don't want to go too much into detail.
No, of course, man. I understand that.
Strategies,
it's great to see anyway, especially. So I want to say, what makes ROT? You had this confidence, right? What makes ROT so much better than the others? Is it individual skill? Is it experience? Is it a combination of everything going? Or
so the thing about ROT is that it is a very versatile clan.
Okay.
We have PKers like just all around PKers, like all around great PKers. They can do F2P, they can do pay to play, they can do WA, they can do everything. So, you know, and the thing is though, and another thing is that we adapt very quickly. So even if we do lose, like you can expect the next time to come back around.
Yeah,
I think that's just what makes us what makes us great. We're just very like dedicated and motivated.
Also, like we saw a few times, ROT getting piled and such. And how do you stay so cool, calm, and collected when you have to tank so many multiple opponents? Any tips for any other clanners out there, or for people that are trying to get into the clanning scene in terms of what to expect?
I think that just goes out to the main caller, who was Brian29. He's an awesome caller, and during those times, he knows exactly what to say to keep everybody calm, you know, and you know, just make sure everything's still in line and we're still winning. So I mean, as you saw, a lot of the time. Those rounds you guys saw that we were down like 3 numbers, still came back.
Yeah, for sure.
This is Brian29, who's a really, really good caller. So shout out to Brian29.
He's your main caller, is he?
yes, he is.
Shout out to him.
Best there is. Yep.
And final question we have, what are your plans for the future as well with Rot? What's coming up for you guys?
Oh, well, we definitely want to focus more on the single, I say maybe the single and the 5v5s. I mean, I know Deadman as well is coming up as well. So, I mean, those are some things that are our main goals right now. So we're definitely going to get some more practice in whatever we're lacking. And we'll definitely expect, everybody should be expecting us in this whole tournament.
Sure thing. One last question, actually. Do you have any words for any kind of like, so people have been watching this, maybe they want to form some teams with their friends, try and get into the clanning world, because 10 years ago, clanning was so vibrant. There were so many clans. Like
you go out any day of the week and you'd find other people to fight, and now it's not quite the same.
Is there anything now you'd like to say to kind of drive people towards clanning, either joining existing clans or making their own one, founding new ones?
I just say, honestly, just join an existing clan, because most of the clans have been around like such a long time. I mean, you guys, the way I look at it is all these people that are like not in clans. I mean, it's like you have to be part of like the big clan. I mean, the whole game, I just think it would be way better if there was clans going against each other all the time.
I have to agree, man.
If you're not a part of a clan, it's like you're not part of a family. So go ahead and join part of a family.
Dude, I love that. I have to agree as well.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I led a clan back in 2010, and I still talk to the guys I was in the clan with daily, right? We were a family. We still are a family. So yeah, thanks for those words, man.
I PK'd back in 2010 as well. 2009 clan called Control back in free-to-play, that kind of stuff, and Def on site. And now, like, I'm still playing those guys. And clanning it's so different to anything else in the game. You've got to give it a go. Check out Rot, obviously, as well. Any more plugs you want to do?
That's what I'm going to say. Do you have anything more you want to say before we end the interview?
No, just expect us to win this whole tournament next time, man. We're gonna come back even harder, you know, like. And shout out to Brian29, shout out to Ghetto B as well, shout out to everybody that was in the 20v20 for Rot that won this.
Yeah, great job, guys. Seriously, good job. Very good job.
Congratulations as well.
Billerick, thank you very much, my friend. Enjoy yourselves, man.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
Bye.
Cool, guys. We're going to head to a 5-minute break before we get underway with the 5 versus 5 finals, of course, between Fools and Legends.
Cheers for tuning in, guys, and congratulations to Rot once more for the $10,000 grand prize in the 20v20 championship.
See you soon.